Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 FPS. I am Oatmeal, and today I will be playing the Professor. And with me here is a lovely friend.
Hi, I'm Avi. Uh, and today I will be playing a certain Toon Princess. We'll name drop that later, but it's probably predictable as to who it is. Um, but yes, hello.
So I think the way we're kind of starting out, is, uh,
Professor's doing a bit of wandering around his story because
oh,
the
absolutely.
the ellipsis is a little out of order.
Yeah. The ellipsis is out of order, so he can't travel that way, but he can't like sit still, basically. So he's going around, using mostly teleportation circles because that way he can get back quickly. Um, and it's convenient. But yeah, he's been exploring different places around Inkwell and even around Zatori in general.
Yeah. Um, which is great that you brought up the teleportation circles because in Toontown's teleportation station there is in fact a God, I don't know what you would call it, essentially like a gate if it were an airport.
Mm. Mhm.
um, but the thing is it's not a teleportation circle.
Mhm.
um Professor probably found this by like entirely by like pure chance.
Mhm.
But sprouting out from the ground is this green pipe, and it's pretty big. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, he's just uh what? He has to know what that is now.
yeah. Um, would you like to do a perception check?
Certainly. Whoa, okay, not 20.
Oh wow. Okay. So with a nat 20. Well, first things first. There's probably like a sign that says like where this would lead to if it were a teleportation circle question mark. Um,
Right.
the sign says Mushroom Town Fruit Country. Um,
Huh.
the um the thing is that there is like quite a few tunes walking around this area, and the thing about it is that while they are all of like a similar art style,
Mm.
um they are of like different, I guess you could say, species.
Mhm.
You see a couple of these turtle-like reptilians walking around, um, and you see a couple of these very short humanoid tunes with like mushroom caps on their heads,
Mhm.
that are like spotted with different colors and whatnot.
Mhm.
But um, as you approach, you definitely hear a noise come from the pipe. And I will not be able to do the folly work for it. You cannot pay me enough to do it. If you played Mario, you know this sound probably by heart. But like you hear this like kind of warping, wobbling sound, and there's like somebody pops out of the pipe, and there's a couple of like the people who probably work at the station helping them climb out of it.
Uh-huh. Um, he only sees the one pipe there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, uh, is there anyone who looks like they work there that he can pick out?
You know what? Screw it. Do you see like there is definitely fantasy TSA agent looking one of these like mushroom people.
Hmm.
It's probably like sitting on a at a desk, but the chair is so high and their feet are so their legs are so short. They're just kind of
Hmm.
like they're just like dangling there.
Hmm.
They're like, yeah.
He'll walk over, and uh, do the sort of thing where where you just sort of tug the edge of the hat. Hello, is it clear to go through?
I will not do the toad voice. Another thing you cannot pay me enough to do. It will get annoying very fast.
Hmm.
Um, but you see this mushroom headed person kind of look up at you. They're probably like filling out some paperwork, making sure that like the timetable's like all cleared and whatnot. Um, before he looks up at you and nods and says, "Yep, warp pipe to Mushroom Town is clear for anyone to go through."
All right. Then he's going to go over to it, uh hoist himself up, um and well, it doesn't seem dangerous and they didn't stop him, so he's going to jump down.
Fucking fantastic. Okay, how do I want to describe this? Alright. It's very much not a teleportation circle, even though the magic is like, or quote unquote magic feels very similar to
Mm,
it. The pipe is definitely very, very dark.
mhm,
Um, but you definitely see like different pinpricks of light kind of like um, shimmering and moving around you almost to indicate the shape of the pipe
mm,
as you pass through it uh,
mhm.
until with that same sound effect you heard when someone else came out the other end, um, you pop out on the other side.
Mhm.
uh, this is definitely not Toontown. uh, you definitely see a lot more of those again similar art style,
Mhm.
but like different species kinds of tunes that are just like walking around milling about, and welcome to the warp pipe station, I guess.
Yeah. He's gonna hop off. Doesn't want to be in anyone's way.
Yes, there's probably someone that's like at the warp pipe ready to like help anybody climb out,
Mhm.
which is funny because I don't think any of the toads are taller than 4 feet. Not sorry, not toads, talkies. Excuse me.
Mhm.
That's gonna trip me up.
That's okay. Um, but yeah, he'll guess probably roll perception for this space here, as he starts to wander uh out from whatever gate this was in. So that's not super, but it's a 13.
Okay. Um. Hmm. What can I get with the 13? All right. You definitely see a lot more of the different species. Like I said, you see the turtle reptilian kind of creatures, and you see
Hmm.
the mushroom headed people. You also see a few other kinds of people. You definitely see these like very small um, people that almost look like chestnuts.
Mm.
They don't have any hands. They most of them have like underbites, uh,
Hmm.
and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
But what else? There are definitely more of these pipes around. The one you just came out of is indicates that it does go to Toontown in Gisnep.
Hmm.
Um, and like, but there's like a couple of others that are like different colors and um
Destinations.
different destinations. Definitely. Um, there's some that you see one that like leads to a place called what do you call it? Kappa Village.
Mm.
Uh, you see uh, you see one that leads to I'm not going to come up with an XP name on the spot. Shiver City.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, this just seems like it's an ordinary part of life and society in this country in particular.
Hmm. Yeah, he's intrigued because he has not seen this replicated anywhere else, anywhere in Inkwell that he's seen so far. This is new to him.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's a very busy spot because this is again Mushroom Town, which by the way, are you heading outside of the station?
Uh, yeah, yeah, pretty much. Just kind of like wandering through to find the exit.
Yeah, as you're passing through, I should probably also give you this. There do seem to be like a few tourists from outside of this country, at least. Um, Definitely out of place. Some real kind, some not.
Hmm.
Some that definitely don't match the art style of this area. But
Hmm.
as you step out, um, you probably don't need like a perception check for this one specifically because it is so noticeable. Uh, there is a castle in the horizon, um,
Hmm.
or on the horizon, that is incredibly big, and it's got like all these like spires that rise up and different flags, and in fact, the middlemost flag has a I guess you could say banner logo. It is a red and white mushroom.
Hmm.
Um, but it is a very busy city, which means there are a lot of things to do here. Um,
Hmm.
you just want to like explore around, I guess.
Uh, yeah, I think so. I guess he'll just like pick a street and walk down and see what there is to be seen. Whether there's like shops or a market or some uh other business or attraction or something. He doesn't know.
Actually, yeah, let's go with that. There's absolutely a marketplace here. Quite a few different stores. Hmm. Most notably, there is a store that has a few probably familiar wares to you. There,
Mm,
some of these items were in the shop that Abby uh,
the
Abby runs.
traveling
Yeah,
cart.
the traveling card of absolutely everything.
That's the one.
Yeah. Um, there's a couple of those, but also a few others that weren't at that traveling cart.
Hmm.
There's definitely the twin cherries like that are
Hmm.
connected by a stem, and they're actually like pretty large.
Hmm.
Uh, One of those cherries could fit in a hand.
Hmm.
That's how big they are. Um,
Hmm.
There's also a few of these like interesting looking flowers. Um, but there's also like other odds and ends, I suppose. There's these brown leaves that have like
Mm.
a sort of striped design on them, and like a bell that,
Hmm.
upon closer inspection, isn't actually a bell, but like a fruit that looks like a bell.
Oh, wow.
Um, and and quite a variety of mushrooms.
Hmm.
Um,
Different shapes and colors.
Different shapes and colors, absolutely. There's one that looks like the stripes of a bee.
Mm.
There's one that looks like it's you have the blue backdrop and white spots, and they're like incredibly small, smaller than like
Hmm.
most of the other mushrooms around,
Hmm.
and whatnot. And
Yeah.
yeah, um,
Yeah. I mean, he's thoroughly interested in all of that, frankly. He remembers uh seeing some of those in the shop, um, although it was just a couple. Um, let me see if he remembers the descriptions. Um, okay, well, you rolled terrible, but you have a good history mod.
okay.
Um, let's see.
Oh yeah, I should probably also add there are a few items that like are like normal grocery items,
Uh-huh.
um, and things like that. Yeah,
With a 12?
with a 12, I would say at least the double cherries. You know
Mm-hmm.
that one operates similarly to dispel mirror image. You
Mm-hmm.
essentially have a double that kind of just follows you around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
and it's probably like not like a it's a words. It's one of those like stores that has like um it's like built in the wall sort of thing. But
Mm.
there's also like a bunch of stands outside that has like all these crates and whatnot, and you could just like pick through them and whatnot. And you do see there is several of these again like mushroom headed people and the sort of like reptilian ones. But there is one toon who is like walking around this store looking over everything, and while she does seem to fit the art style of this place,
Mm.
she is definitely not like any of the others around her. She is a lot more human in appearance,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely a lot taller.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Um, hmm. Uh, I think he, I think he's curious about the bell fruit. So he might, um, uh, like be kind of like looking at one like a bit puzzled. Uh, and just sort of call over like, do you know what this does? Unless it's just a tasty fruit.
Okay, I love this so much. I'm gonna spoil this one for Skip real quick. Um, it's got a very similar texture to I guess it would be a nectarine. Um,
Mm.
but as you call over, this lady you're talking to, kind of looks over her shoulder and um, probably almost immediately because you are real kind.
Mm.
She recognizes you as not from around here,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and she says, "Oh," and kind of laughs as she steps closer to you, and she says, "We call that a super bell." Um,
Hmm.
the power up is a bit unique, but it gives you quite a bit of, let's say, feline agility.
Huh. Interesting. Huh. I think there's a spell that does something. Does it uh enhance ability? I think one of the
Oh,
options is it's been a while since I had that one.
you're not gonna believe this. She has this spell prepared.
Oh my goodness. Uh Cat's Grace, wasn't it?
Oh yes, the one that makes it a bit easier to gosh words a bit easier to leap over gaps and whatnot.
Certainly. Or dodge obstacles.
uh,
Interesting.
Pardon me for asking, but are you new around here?
Oh yes, very.
She does kind of laugh a little a bit about that, and she's like, "Sorry, I didn't mean to draw any attention, but
Oh, it's quite all right. I think I draw enough attention looking like this.
I don't know. I think the scarf is a good look on you."
Thank you.
Um, yeah, she's going to probably like poke around a few of these power ups, and she says, "You know, we do export a lot of these power ups to other countries because of their abilities, but
Mm.
not a lot of people know that they actually make really good cooking components too."
Oh.
Um, like this one, and she points to this flower. It's very circular and it's like red and
Mhm.
orange,
It's
um,
like a bullseye.
sort of. But the white center has like again those same like almost dot eyes.
Mm.
And she says, "This one's called a flame flower, and it gives an ability similar to this spell, to the cantrip Firebolt. But
Oh.
you can take the seeds and grind the petals for a very good spice."
Oh, that does sound good. Huh.
And
Hmm.
and, and this one, and she's pointing uh, to the super bell again. She says, "It makes a very good filling for cobblers."
Ah,
Of course,
that sounds quite good.
when you use them for cooking ingredients, they don't really keep the power up abilities, but I
Mhm.
still think they're quite delicious.
Oh, sure. Sure, sure.
And
That's very cool.
this one, and she's pointing to a banana. She's pointing to a banana that also has like those like dot eyes. Before she
Hmm.
kind of like pauses, and she says, "Well, that's just a banana."
Well, it looks like a very good banana.
And she nods. That one's from that one we actually got from Kong Island. So uh,
Hmm.
they do have quite a lot of really good fruits there too. But their bananas are quite treasured, you could say.
Hmm. Hmm. All of these fruits look very good, and the mushrooms as well. All of the produce, honestly.
Yes, well, we are quite known for that. I mean, they don't call us for country for nothing.
Ah, I
And
think I've heard that name recently, but huh. I kind of came here a bit by random. I didn't I was just kind of wandering around the Toontown teleportation station and I noticed the, what did he say, warp pipe for the first time, and I had to check it out.
oh, you're from Toontown. And her face just kind of lights up.
Uh, I spent a lot of time there. I'm not exactly from anywhere in particular.
Oh, so you're just a traveler.
Yes.
It sounds really nice.
Oh,
But yes, was it your first time in a warp pipe though?
yes.
I know that it can be quite jarring for newcomers, but um, was
I
it
thought it was,
all right for you?
oh, yes, it was fun. A bit strange, but most sort of fast travel systems seem to be um, tend to be odd in their own ways, I think.
Oh, certainly. I've gone. I've done a bit of traveling, you could say, in a lot of strange ways. Um,
Hmm.
what did you say your name was?
Oh, where are my manners? I am the professor.
Professor, right? Um, sorry, you can roll an insight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And um,
I got a nat one. Idiot.
well, there was definitely not so much that she recognized you, but she seems to have been dealing with a lot of professors lately. Maybe.
Oh, mm-hmm. Yeah.
um, are are you holding out a hand or anything?
Uh, yeah, probably he would.
Yeah, she'll take it and shake and says, I'm Amanita. Um, welcome to Fruit Country.
Amanita. Uh, thank you very much. I am going to check to see if his thing is, it's not. True Sight's not on today. Not right now.
you know, I actually kind of forgot. I didn't have anything for her.
That's fine. Some people legitimately have nothing. If you look at the professor with True Sight, there's not much there.
oh gosh. And I think what she ends up saying is like, you know, Mushroom Town does get a lot of adventurers around here.
Hmm.
But I have to admit, as much as I would love to travel myself, I'm actually quite stuck at home a lot.
Oh no, you don't say.
She kind of just shrugs and says, well, I have a lot of things to take care of, you could say.
Oh, responsibilities, I suppose.
you could say that, yes.
Oh,
Very big responsibilities.
mm. Well, even so, it can do you good to get away every once in a while.
Oh, trust me, I know. I kind of snuck out today.
Good for you.
She kind of smiles and laughs at that. Um, as you're speaking though, your passive perception is a 14, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your
I'm trying to
passive. Yes.
I'm trying to decide how I wanna do this. Do you know that kind of thing that like people do? People do when they like see something across the street and they're like doing a double take.
Mm,
Out of the corner of your eye, you see this happen like with like strangers more than once. They're looking at
mm.
the direction of the store.
Oh.
um, um, God, there was something she wanted to do. Um, Gosh, what was it?
Does she seem to notice this?
If she does, she doesn't seem to be paying it any mind.
Mm-hmm.
um, doesn't seem to care at all, basically. Um, but she does. I think she goes back to the how you say the flowers.
Mm.
And she probably picks out um she picks out a one of the fire flowers um and I guess she's just gonna purchase it. And once she finishes that transaction, she comes back to you and hands it to you and says, "Here, consider this a welcome gift."
Oh, gosh, she didn't have to do that.
Oh, I don't mind at all.
Oh, thank you.
um, I still haven't like rewritten what the flame flowers do in
That's
particular.
fine. Yeah,
Uh,
I just won't do anything with it yet.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
But also, she's noble. She's got enough money to afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't necessarily know that, but yeah. Honestly, he might end up cooking it because sounded really good.
You gotta make it into spice. Ugh. Um,
Yeah.
God, there was like some other stuff that she could do. She's probably also just gonna keep pointing out some stuff. Is there any
Hmm.
like power up you can think of that
Hmm.
I will probably come up
Uh,
with something on spot, but
uh, Let me see. Uh, there's, uh, uh, would they, there's so many.
there are a lot.
Um,
Um,
there's like a different shaped bell thing.
I actually don't know what the difference is. The Lucky Bell? Let me see. Yep.
That might be it.
Oh, it's the same as the Super Bell, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does seem to be. Huh. Weird.
They just redesigned it.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Uh, I don't know.
Alright. Here. I think she's also going to like show you a couple of other uh of the power ups too. So she's
Mm,
probably pointing one out that looks almost identical to the flame flower, but it's like blues instead of the reds and orange.
mm-hmm,
And it's not that hard to guess, especially when she says, this one's a frost flower. It's the same genus as the flame flowers, but
mm.
it's more ray of frost than firebolt.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
but you can use the leaves for tea. Um,
Ah,
it's a very minty flavor.
mm-hmm,
And this one, and she's just kind of like rambling around uh,
mm-hmm.
each of these um, before she kind of looks up at you again and she asks, "Do you like traveling?"
Oh, I do. I love it.
And
It
she's
doesn't seem like you get to travel much.
not particularly, no, not in a way that I would like most of the time, but
Mm,
and the few
that's a
times
shame.
the few times I have gone on my own, it's not ended well, I suppose you could say. Always run into
Oh,
some sort of trouble.
oh. Well, I can't say that I don't run into my fair share of trouble traveling myself, but every time that's
Oh, I
annoying.
suppose that's tropes for you.
Mm,
Um, is it nice in Toontown?
it is. Uh, and he just sort of like gets a very mischievous grin. Would you like to go see?
Oh my gosh. She kind of glances over her shoulders and she probably does see like a couple of those tunes that have been like stopping to like stare in their direction.
Mm,
Um, there's a couple of murmurings uh, from them before she's just you know what? Sure. Let me just purchase these really quick. And she's like looking at like she's probably had like a basket with her this entire time. It's got like yeah, different like of the produce and whatnot, but she's
yeah,
also got like baking supplies.
nice.
Um so she's gonna run off and purchase those real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um and while she's off, do you want to roll a perception check?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, that's a 22.
Okay, I'm trying to decide what would be funnier. Um, okay, yeah, you do hear like some of the murmurings from like the crowd that's like passing by.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as she's kind of like as she goes inside to like pay for her stuff, um, you do hear some of them like as they're like kind of walking off because she's gone. Um, you hear some of them mumbling about a princess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, particularly, was that the princess? That was the princess, right? Was that the princess?
I think Professor just like steps out and looks around like, what? Where? Like looking down the road. Like I don't see anybody who's obviously a princess.
uh, that's really the trouble, isn't it? Because, like, if you know who she is very recognizable.
Huh?
However, Professor doesn't.
No. Oh, goodness.
uh, yeah, she probably finishes off, finishes up inside before she kind of, like, steps back out, and you see her waving goodbye to the talkie that's like running the shop, uh,
Mm.
and just kind of shoves the bag into her hammer space. Um, and she just kind of grabs onto your hand and just
Hmm.
immediately just like, okay, let's go, and is making her way to the warp station.
Yeah, absolutely.
Warp station, or in other words, the warp zone.
Yep. They're uh they're walking fast.
I'm trying to like put into words the kind of expression she has on her face.
Hmm.
Um, it's the kind of expression a rebellious teenager would have when they're doing something they shouldn't be
Yes.
doing but are enjoying it like every step of the way.
Nice. Good. Oh, Professor is glad he could facilitate this.
Uh, and so yeah, she has you guys make it to the warp station, and again, a lot of double takes as she passes through.
Hmm.
Um, but she is just leading the way, not even bothering to spare a glance to like anybody who might try to stop her for any
Hmm.
reason. Um,
Hmm.
in fact, I think what ends up happening is that once she reaches the warp pipe, she kind of like gives you a grin and
Hmm.
just jumps in. Like, God, I had to look back at her outfit. Now this skirt is a bit short enough than what
Hmm.
she's wearing right now. She just kind of like hikes it up a little bit and just uh, jumps right in.
Nice. Yep, he'll follow. Uh, he'll follow.
Okay, do I want to drop the bombshell now? Okay, and on the other side is still the Toontown teleportation station. Um, and as you're coming out, you came out after Amanita. There is a crowd around her, and she's kind of like making this placating gesture
Mm.
towards them. Um, before she kind of looks back and sees that you're there too, and just
Hmm.
grabs you by the hand and skirts back, uh, skirts around the group
Hmm.
to get to the talkie that was behind the desk.
Hmm.
And as she approaches, the talkie looks up at her and like jumps with a start, and is stammering for a good second.
Hmm.
uh, before Amanita just says, "Okay, if Smith asks, I was never here, okay?" And the talkie just goes, "Princess, what are you?" And she just kind of like shushes him.
Uh-huh.
before she's just for a little bit, okay? I just wanted to see around. I just wanted to look around. And she just immediately again taking you by the hand to get out of the station.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Um, yeah, he'll just sort of like squeeze her hand a moment. It says, I could make this a bit faster.
And she kind of looks at you.
Um, I've got Dimension Door.
Oh, that is quite useful, huh?
Hmm.
And she just kind of like does this thing where like not only like holding onto your hand, but like holds onto your arm as like she's expecting you to do this.
Yeah. Uh, and he will cast it once, get them 500 feet, uh probably outside the station with that distance. He does know the area around the station pretty well. Um, uh, so probably like he'd aim for somewhere a little off to the side, that's slightly less noticeable, like uh something more discreet, like an alleyway or something.
Yeah, you do this, and she probably like closed her eyes up until like the spell like finishes and y'all are in this alleyway, and she lets go of your hand, and
Hmm.
she's already taking in the sights.
Uh, uh, yeah, I mean, Professor will just start like striding down the street, and as they come up on things that he recognizes, he'll point them out like that's a uh that's a very good bookshop. And let's see. That cafe is uh probably one of the better ones on this side of town. And don't know if you'd have any use for an auto shop, but that's a pretty good one.
Well, she kind of pauses before she tries to like think of how to phrase it. It's like, I'm not sure if it counts, but I do sometimes race carts.
Hmm. Well, they'd probably have something useful then. Hmm. Let's see. Dodo Studios is I'll probably just like turn around and find it in the skyline that
Yeah.
way. Um, let's see. There's a library that direction. Um, I think there's a market down this way. Uh, and over here, a bit further down, I think there's some theaters and such.
Oh, I'm kind of curious about the marketplace. And
Certainly, let's go.
she's like, yeah, she's gonna follow you.
Hmm.
She looks absolutely ecstatic. Um, the kind of like rush of adrenaline of like she really shouldn't be doing this, but she is anyway.
Uh-huh. Like we did it, we're here. We're not supposed to be, but we are.
Smith is gonna kill me if he finds out, but it's fine. We're good.
Uh, but yeah, I think there's probably a bunch of stuff of all sorts of different kinds. There's uh probably like produce in several different art styles, and probably some clothes, some like toys and knickknacks, and um
she like uh,
Jewelry.
gosh, I think what she ends up doing is that she's like looking over the different fruits and whatnot
Hmm.
in the produce like area. The fact that they don't have like those like dot eyes looking things is like already intriguing to her.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like she's seen like a few fruits that don't have them, but not a lot.
Oh yeah. These most if not all of them don't have faces. Yeah.
Gotta love it. Um, and goodness. Yeah, I think she's gonna. She's absolutely gonna. She probably. There's probably like the toon trope of like walking in like a clothing store and like a few seconds later she's gotten a new outfit.
Yes.
It's also
Nice.
pink.
Yes. It's a good color on you.
Oh, and thank you. It's my favorite color actually. And she looks in like incredibly happy by this, and she says, what she say? She says, "Thank you so much for taking me here."
Sure. By the sounds of it, you needed a little break.
Oh, you you won't believe how much I needed something like this. And she kind of like rubs her hands against her face, and she's just like, I've been so busy lately in the negotiations with the Sprout Kingdom. They've been running
Mm,
smoothly and whatnot, but I swear that Queen is something else. And Smith's been on my
hmm.
case about running around like this, but I couldn't resist. And I just want to take a minute and like just maybe just get some fresh air for once.
Exactly. Negotiations, those can be a hassle for sure.
I haven't the slightest idea.
He just sort of like scratches his face, like, I might.
She kind of like looks up at you, and she's got God. How do I describe her face? It's a mix of relief, but also
Incredulousness.
not really incredulous, but like kind of pouty.
Hmm.
Smith's always been on my case about this because he's always so worried, and I know he's just worried, but honestly, it's nice to be able to get out like this.
Hmm. Yes. I hate being cooped up.
Tell me about
Got
it.
got to get around, see the sights, see something new.
Is that why you came to Mushroom Town?
Yeah, pretty much.
Remind me to write down a list of places you should see around Fruit Country. There's a
Ooh.
there's a lot of really nice places out there.
Hmm. Yes, that would be lovely. Um, I don't know. I think he probably like finds uh some interesting like stall that like he's been to before and sort of explain I don't know. It's probably um I don't know, maybe something with like different candies and like Most of them are mundane, but some of them do something cool that lasts like a short time. Uh, Point out his favorites, stuff like that.
Yeah, she would. She's probably getting like a bag for herself, but she also like gets a bag of candies for you too. Listen.
Thank you. Again, you don't have to. I
Oh,
can
shush.
can get my own.
I have plenty of gold. I don't mind.
No, right.
Consider it a thank you.
All right. Thank you. He'll probably start snacking on them. He likes his sweets.
And because like she I think your passive perception is a 14. I think this would probably still be picked up because of the nature of mascot curse.
Mm,
There are still, even though they're out of free country, there are still like a few people who like turn their heads to look in her direction.
mm,
Like, hello.
uh-huh.
But again, she either doesn't notice or really just isn't paying them any mind.
Right. Well, he notices, and honestly, he would find that probably a little annoying. So, he'll offer like, uh, do you want to maybe trade hats or something? Maybe make you a bit less recognizable over here.
I'm not sure if that will work. I have a pretty recognizable face regardless.
True. Although I have known a Toon who made himself completely unrecognizable to me with just a fake mustache,
And she kind of,
which he put on like in front of my face.
well, we can try to give it a shot, but she kind of looks around.
Mhm,
Um, Gosh, I'm trying to figure out a way to just give this to Professor now.
mhm,
Um, she probably like spots another like alleyway where they can like be out of view for a little bit,
mhm,
and she takes off her little sun hat. Um,
mhm.
Funnily enough, underneath it is a little tiara.
Oh.
She's just been wearing that. But like she hands you the sun hat, and as she does that,
Mhm,
she kind of takes the tiara off her head. It's a gold with these like little gemstones in it. It's a very simple but
mhm.
like nice looking tiara.
Yeah.
She just tucks
Yeah.
that into her hammer space. Um,
Mhm.
Already
He does
she looks a little different.
nice. He does have disguise kit, so if there's any other like small accessories that would help. I don't know how tall she is, else he might try the scarf, but
Let
um
me double check. She does have a canon height. Uh, 6'1" on heels, 5'11" without.
oh, okay, she's quite tall. She could probably handle it, but only if she wants. He'll offer it. Just because it's like different, more of something of a different color scheme.
I think she kind of looks at it before she's like, I don't know. I think that scarf looks better on you.
All right, thank you.
Because even then, it's still like a lot of scarf, isn't it?
Oh, it is, absolutely. You have to like he's five, nope, nope. He's 6'3" and he has to like wind it around several times and the ends still trail pretty much to the ground.
Yeah, she's okay with this.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, she does a proper disguising. It's a bit difficult to explain the kind of um reaction she's probably going to get now.
Mm.
It's more along the lines of double taking, but like, oh, it's not what they thought it was.
Like, was that? Oh, oh, guess not.
She probably like tied her hair up and everything too.
Hmm.
And she kind of just breathes a little sigh of relief at that.
The attention can get a little much sometimes.
And she nods. And she says, normally I don't mind, but I think in this case I just want to be myself for a little bit.
Yes, I think you deserve something like that. Is there anything else that would interest you? That I might find something of relevance. I know this area pretty well.
Um, hmm. That bookstore, actually.
Oh, yes.
Um, hmm. How does she phrase it? Um, I was just curious. I wanted to see what kind of tales they might have here in Gisnep.
Oh, certainly. Um, he'll like take a second to figure out exactly where they are in relation to the bookstore and start down towards it.
Yeah, she's following after you, kind of like glancing around a little self consciously, but like letting herself relax when she realizes that people are kind of letting her go at this rate.
Yeah. But yeah, he'll take her to a bookstore and it's probably like I'm imagining a sort of like cozy, kind of rustic, um, you know, smells like old paper, bookstore, um, with like it's got some like newly printed books, but it also has a lot of like used books.
Yeah, I think she's looking through the older ones. Um,
Hmm.
Something funny that has happened in an actual Mario game. She has just like randomly found like treasure maps in like old old antiques, old books. There's like even an instance in which she was just like cleaning out the storage in the castle and she's found like treasure maps and whatnot. She's she's not looking per se for stuff like that, but she probably
Hmm.
like opens a book and like almost immediately flips to a page that has a map. Before she just kind of closes it and puts it away. She knows a call to adventure when she sees one.
That's really funny. Oh goodness.
um, but she does seem a lot more interested in folk tales and whatnot.
Hmm.
Um, and she's probably got like gotten distracted just looking into one right at this moment.
Hmm. Hmm. me see if I have a thing that I think I might have. Let's. Uh, no, wrong place. All right, I had an idea. Uh, it is not relevant as I thought it was.
Okay. How about we roll? Um, I guess intelligence,
Hmm,
because
sure.
there were like a lot of little hints to this leading
Mm,
up to it.
okay. That is just a 15.
Okay, yeah, I'll call that. um, um, hmm. So while you've been like out and about with her,
Mm,
there was definitely that again early on when like you had first met her. There were these people um, talking amongst themselves about a princess.
mm,
Um, Taki at the teleportation station in Toontown um, also called her princess.
yeah.
Um, she had that tiara,
Hmm.
and she was talking about a lot of stuff in relation to like things she needs to do in a royal setting.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Professor, you've just essentially taken the princess of Fruit Country on a trip to Einquell on a whim.
uh, I don't think he's too bothered by that, honestly. Uh, there's like a little part that's just like, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but like she was kind of leading for part of that, so I don't think they're gonna think they kidnapped her or anything.
No.
Um, but like, but also just like, yeah, it seems like, you know, she needed a day out
She
and
really did.
screw the rules.
Hannah God, she really did.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't even know if he's gonna say anything about it. Um, 'Cause like with the attitude, it doesn't, if she wanted to talk about it, she'd talk about it. Uh, right now we're kind of ignoring that.
Yeah.
Is kind of his thought process, at least.
Yeah, she kind of she's reading this book. It's probably a book on like local deities in Einquell and whatnot.
Mm.
Um, Before she realizes like she kind of looks up and looks around and she's like, what time is it?
Oh, take out his pocket watch. Uh,
I should probably head back to the castle. Didn't need to
ah,
be out this long.
well, all right,
Uh,
if you're sure.
it this has been really fun, honestly. Uh, I don't get to do this a lot and not have something try to kidnap me. uh,
That's unfortunate.
and she kind of just shrugs and she's just, well, I can handle my own, but it's nice to have this little bit of a break. Um, I think
Mhm.
she actually will buy this book.
Mm.
Um, she's just gonna get it. Um,
Mhm.
and is just gonna hold on to it.
Yeah. Would you, well, I mean, I was wandering around. Um, would you mind if I accompanied you back to the warp pipe?
I don't mind at all. I'm debating whether or not I want to do a bit.
Hmm.
um, you know what? Screw it. You make your way back to the teleportation station, and there's a bit of a commotion going on by the warp pipe,
Mm,
and I think as she's approaching, she kind of hands back your hat and whatnot, whatever you handed her for a little bit of a disguise.
yeah, and
Um,
he'll give her sun hat back.
um, the cause of the commotion is another one of the Taki. Um,
Mm,
it's this older gentleman,
hmm.
um, a sort of tan cap with like brown spots, and he's got uh, a white mustache and
Hmm.
a monocle and a walking cane. And he's like currently talking to the like little agent at the desk, um, almost in tears.
Oh.
Like, have you seen her? Kind of deal going on. Before Amanita just sort of clears her throat, and he looks up, and as soon as he sees her, there's like the waterworks just go off immediately. She is like wrapped tight in a hug. And you hear the commotion of like, can't believe you just did that, and she's just like, oh shush, I'm fine. See, no harm done. Uh, I can handle myself. All that fun like childlike excuses of like I can handle my own. Please, I'm
Yeah,
basically an
yeah.
adult now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But he seems satisfied enough that he goes back down the warp pipe. Um, and Amanita kind of before she also heads over there, she says, uh, she looks back to you and she says, "Again, thank you so much for this."
Oh, sure. I'm just glad I could show you around.
God, she's handing me words. What are they? Give me a second. Okay, here's what she says. She says, "Oh, you know, I'm not sure if you're really into gardening or anything, but the
Mm.
castle garden is open for anybody to come visit. It's my own pride and joy, you could say. So if you'd ever like to stop by,
I'd love to.
great. I'll see you around sometime."
Yes.
And she gives you a little wave, and like to the like surrounding crowd, she kind of does like a neat little curtsy before she just hops into the warp pipe, and she's gone.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I think I'm trying to figure out. I guess if it's been a while, it's probably closer towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um, uh, he'll turn around and go towards one of the um, teleportation circles for Villestown, but make note of where the um, the warp pipe is, so that he can go back another day and continue exploring.
Hee-hoo.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for playing with me, Olivia.
yeah, thank you. This was adorable.
And thank you to our listening audience, both now and in the future. We are going to bid you all a good time zone.
Bye.
Bye!